She's being so gracious. All right. Oh my goodness. Okay. All right. How many of y'all have ever tried to do something and it goes drastically wrong? You think you know how to do it, and so you start to do it, and then it's just like, oh.
This is way harder than what I thought it was.
Yes. I have done that many a times. As they say, bitten off more than I can chew. You just do too much. What about, okay, now, everyone's got that thing in your head, right? Just think about it in your head to yourself. Now, had you had a set of instructions, would that have helped you complete that task easier?
Yes.
Okay. So, in this book that we're about to watch, we're going to watch a video of a reading of the book Stregononia. Have any of y'all ever read that?
No.
Okay. Well, Stregononia, or Grandmother Witch, is a book about a lady who heals her community members with natural remedies. But when she gets too old to do this, she takes on a helper. His name is Big Anthony. So she has him help her do the things that she can no longer do by herself. Unfortunately, for Big Anthony, he doesn't pay attention to Stregononia. And it causes him a lot of trouble, and it puts the whole village in a very scary place. And so we're just going to look and see that maybe had Stregononia left detailed instructions, could the whole mess have been avoided. So, let me, are y'all ready?
Yes.
Okay.
You need me to go turn the lights off?
You sure can.
Is the parents eat nothing? Once I was doing this weird
Welcome to Storyline Online, brought to you by the SAG-AFTRA Foundation. I'm Mary Steenbridgen, and today I'm going to read Stregononia, written and illustrated by Tommy DeViola. In a town in Calabria a long time ago, there lived an old lady everyone calls Stregononia, which means Grandma Witch. Although all the people in town talked about her in whispers. They all went to see her if they had troubles. Even the priest and the sisters of the convent went, because Stregononia did have a magic touch.
Okay. So there was a word just there, and it just kind of slipped my mind to go through these. Does everybody know what a convent is?
No.
Okay, a convent is a place where priests and nuns live, and they carry out their religious work. That it's like a big house where all the nuns live.
What's a nun?
A nun is, it's usually nuns are female, so it's like a female priest. They are very devout to the church. They never marry. They never have children. They live their whole life, and they carry out the work of the church. Okay. And this is about to come up. Does everyone know what a potion is?
I have it all grades posted. Thank you very much. Figures, please remember that we will send report cards home Thursday on the second half day. Thank you.
Okay. So, who wants to tell me by raise of hand what a potion is?
It's like a magic room.
Okay, so it's like a magic mixture of things that can help you do magical things. Everyone knows what town square is?
Yeah.
Okay, a town square is like the middle of town. It would be like our main street, like where Tiger Hut's at. It's the central part of town. It's where everyone gathers. We gather on Main Street every year for trick-or-treating, for the homecoming parade, for the Christmas parade, for the Cahaba Lily Festival. That is our quote-unquote town square. Michael,
Every year I'm in the homecoming parade.
you are because you play football. Does everyone know what
play basketball.
confess means?
Yes.
What does confess mean?
Confess means you tell the truth when you say it aloud.
Okay, so confess is like when you do something wrong, you openly say what you did wrong. For example, if I were to trip Noah and I knew it was wrong, I would tell all of y'all I was the one that tripped Noah and I was wrong in doing it. That's what that is. Yes, ma'am. That's exactly right. Okay, what about a barricade? Yes, ma'am.
It's something like it's like
Okay, a bear.
or like something to like guard something.
Okay. Right, so to barricade is to block something off, to guard something, to make something inaccessible. Barricades are usually used to protect something.
That was one of our vocabulary words. Like how a baby gate protects a baby.
Right, it's a barricade to keep a baby out from where they need to go. So let's finish the book.
She could cure a headache with oil and water and a hairpin. She made special potions for the girls who wanted husbands. And she was very good at getting rid of warts. But Stregononia was getting old, and she needed someone to help her keep her little house and garden, so she put up a sign in the town square. And Big Anthony, who didn't pay attention, went to see her. "Anthony," said Stregononia, "you must sweep the house and wash the dishes. You must weed the garden and pick the vegetables. You must feed the goat and milk, and you must fetch the water. For this, I will give you 3 coins and a place to sleep and food to eat." "Oh, grazie," said Big Anthony. "The one thing you must never do," said Stregononia, "is touch the pasta pot. It is very valuable, and I don't let anyone touch it." "Oh, see, yes," said Big Anthony.
Alyssa.
And so the days went by. Big Anthony did his work, and Stregononia met with the people who came to see her for headaches and husbands and warts. Big Anthony had a nice bed to sleep in next to the goat shed, and he had food to eat. One evening, when Big Anthony was milking the goat, he heard Stregononia singing. Peeking in the window, he saw Stregononia standing over the pasta pot, and she sang, "Bubble, bubble, pasta pot, boil me some pasta nice and hot. I'm hungry and it's time to suck. Boil me some pasta to fill me up." And the pasta pot bubbled and boiled and was soon filled, steaming hot pasta. Then Stregononia sang, "Enough, enough pasta pot. I have my pasta nice and hot. So simmer down my pot of clay till I'm hungry another day." "How wonderful," said Big Anthony. "That's a magic pot for sure." And Stregononia called Big Anthony in for supper. But too bad for Big Anthony, because he didn't get to see Stregononia blow 3 kisses to the magic pot. And this is what happened. The next day, when Big Anthony went to the town square to fetch the water, he told everyone about the pasta pot. And naturally, everyone laughed at him because it sounded so silly. A pot that cooked all by itself. "You better go and confess to the priest, Big Anthony," they said. "Such a lie." And Big Anthony was angry. And that wasn't a very good thing to be. I'll show them, he said to himself. Someday I will get the pasta pot and make it cook. And then they'll be sorry. That day came sooner than even Big Anthony could have thought. Because 2 days later, Strega Nona said to Big Anthony, Anthony, I must go over the mountain to the next town to see my friend, Strega Amelia. Sweep the house and weed the garden. Feed the goat and milk her. And for your lunch, there's some bread and cheese in the cupboard. And remember, don't touch the pasta pot. Oh, yes, Strega Nona, said Big Anthony. But inside, he was thinking, my chance has come. As soon as Strega Nona was out of sight, Big Anthony went inside, pulled the pasta pot off the shelf, and put it on the floor. Now, let's see if I can remember the words, said Big Anthony. And Big Anthony sang, and you feel free to sing along with me if you remember the words. Pasta pot. Boil me some pasta, nice and hot. I'm hungry and it's time to sup. Boil enough to fill me up. And sure enough, the pot bubbled and boiled and began to fill up with pasta. Aha, said Big Anthony, and he ran to the town square, jumped on the fountain and shouted, everybody get forks and plates and platters and bowls. Pasta for all at Strega Nona's house. Big Anthony has made the magic pasta pot to work. Of course, everyone laughed but ran home to get forks and plates and platters and bowls, and sure enough, when they got to Strega Nona's, the pasta pot was so full, it was beginning to overflow. Big Anthony was a hero. He scooped out pasta and filled the plates and platters and bowls. There was more than enough for all the townspeople, including the priest and the sisters from the convent. And some people came back for 2 and 3 helpings, but the pot was never empty. When all had had their fill, Big Anthony sang, enough, enough pasta pot. I have my pasta nice and hot. So simmer down my pot of clay until I'm hungry another day. But alas, he did not blow 3 kisses. He went outside, and to the applause of the crowd, Big Anthony took a bow. He was so busy listening to compliments from everyone that he didn't notice the pasta pot was still boiling and still bubbling until a sister from the convent said, oh, Big Anthony, look. And pasta was pouring out of the pot all over the floor of Strega Nona's house and was coming out the door. Big Anthony rushed in and shouted the magic words again, but the pot kept bubbling. He took the pot off the floor, but the pasta kept pouring from it. Big Anthony grabbed a cover and put it on the pot and sat on it. But the pasta raised the cover, and Big Anthony as well, and spilled on the floor of Strega Nona's house. Stop! Yelled Big Anthony. But the pasta did not stop, and if someone hadn't grabbed poor Big Anthony, the pasta would have covered him up. The pasta had all but filled the little house. Out of the windows and through the doors came the pasta, and the pot kept right on bubbling. The townspeople began to worry. Do something, Big Anthony, they shouted. Big Anthony sang the magic song again. But without the 3 kisses, it did no good. By this time, the pasta was on its way down the road, and all the people were running to keep ahead of it. We must protect our town from the pasta, shouted the mayor. Get mattresses, tables, doors, anything to make a barricade. But even that didn't work. The pot kept bubbling, and the pasta kept coming. "We are lost," said the people, and the priest and the sisters of the convent began praying. "The pasta will cover our town," they cried. And it certainly would have had Strega Nonia not come down the road home from her visit. She didn't have to look twice to know what had happened. She sang the magic song and blew the 3 kisses, and with a sputter the pot stopped boiling and the pasta came to a halt. "Oh, grazie, thank you, Strega Nonia," the people cried. But then they turned on poor Big Anthony. "String him up," the men of the town shouted. "Now wait," said Strega Nonia. "The punishment must fit the crime." And she took a fork from a lady standing nearby and held it out to Big Anthony. "All right, Anthony, you wanted pasta from my magic pasta pot," Strega Nonia said. "And I want to sleep in my little bed tonight. So, start eating." And he did. Poor Big Anthony. The end. Thank you very much.
All right. Justin, will you hit the lights for me, please?
She's up for movie. I seen her. She is.
Yep, she is. She's a famous actress. Okay. So, from what we watched, why did Strega Nonia ask Big Anthony for help? Who knows? She was getting too old. What was she getting too old to do? Noah?
Weed her garden and take care of the place and do her magic.
Okay, so she was
And the
getting
other
too old to weed her garden and
Do all the stuff for the other people.
right, so she needed some help. So, what caused all the trouble in the first place? Big Anthony didn't listen. So even though he thought he knew he could control the pasta pot, what could have avoided this whole mess in the first place?
Not to mess with the pasta pot.
Good, Michael. Not to mess with the pasta pot. That's exactly what she told him, right? I need you to do all these things, but don't mess with the pasta pot. And he did it anyways, right?
And she said, whatever you do, don't touch my pasta pot. And he said, oh, see.
Right.
He said yes, but he just said no.
Right. It's kind of like he heard her,
He lied.
but he didn't listen.
Yeah.
Exactly.
He lied and he disobeyed.
So, here's what we're going to do with this book today. So, let's say that this book could have ended differently. Let's say that Strega Nonia was going to give Big Anthony permission to use the pot. And let's say that in order to use the pot, Strega Nonia left Big Anthony a list of instructions. What are some things that you can think of that would have been on that instruction list? Audrey.
It could have been like when make the pasta and it would be like the words to the song.
Okay, so knowing the words to the song.
I know
Lyrics.
what's next. I know what's next.
Okay, what's something else? Wait, which song are you talking about? The one to make the pasta?
Yeah, I know what to make pasta.
To make pasta. Okay. Now, I know that y'all talked about making detailed lists and instructions yesterday on how to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, right? So you can't just tell somebody, get your bread, get your peanut butter, get your jelly, and you have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, right? You have to tell them,
Every detail.
you need a knife. You need to spread peanut butter on one piece. You need to spread jelly on the other piece. You have to open the containers. You can't just stick the knife through the lid, right? So you have to open your bread. You know, it's somebody that has no idea how to do that. So keep that in mind while you're listing these things off to me. What's something else? They don't have to be in order. Just what is something else? Raylan.
And then
Okay? What's something else that she could have told him? Must blow 3 kisses for it to work. Where does he need to blow the 3 kisses though?
and pot.
At the pasta pot. Okay. Is there anything else that Straganonia could have given to Anthony for instructions about how to make the pasta pot work? Only use the pot when hungry and with permission. Okay. Anything else? He took a lid from the cupboard, right? He took the pot from the cupboard? Okay. Okay. That was a good detail. I missed that one.
There's also one that you missed. It says knowing the words to a song, but you have to sing the song.
You have to sing the song, okay?
And then you have to sing the song to get it to stop. And then blow 3 kisses.
Good. Okay. I think that about covers everything we would need to do to make pasta, right? What I want you to do, I want you each to grab a sheet of paper. And y'all worked yesterday on how to write a list, right? You have to number it 1, 2, 3, 4, you know, so on and so forth. I want y'all to take each of these things and put them in the order you think that they should have gone in order to make pasta out of the pot.
So you wrote all this in different orders as you put it in the right order?
Well, some of them are in the right order, but this is just more about knowing how to take details from the story and put them in order. So you're wanting to know how to write a well-written, very detailed instruction list. Yes, ma'am. So like, what I would do is I would say, ask to use the pot. Like that would be the first thing, right? So he would need to ask if he could use the pot. And then you know, I'm just gonna go ahead and give y'all maybe one or two of them. So he would need to ask to use the pot. And then he would need to get the pot down. And then even after he got the pot down, he can't sing the song if he doesn't know the words to the song, right? So y'all each grab a piece of paper and you need to number these things 1 to 6. And write a really wet, and these don't have specific details, so you need to be detailed with it. So like asking to use the pot, getting the pot down from the shelf, knowing the words to start making the pasta, then singing those words. So y'all go ahead and grab a pencil and a piece of paper. Yes. And if y'all like to work in groups of maybe 2 up to 3 on one single sheet of paper, that's fine with me.
I call couch. Call couch.
Go couch.
Go couch.
Whoever get that paper, go find get the couch.
Same as mine. They're already here. Okay, there can only be one more person on the couch, you know? There can only be one more person on the couch. There can only be one more person on the couch.
Okay, y'all, so listen, in your group,
Yeah, I already got the last one.
I go get the
hey, in your group,
If we need a paper.
if you want to have one person write, that is fine. But each group needs to have a list of these things in order, okay? They need to be detailed. So, whose group are you in, guys?
Me, Nova, and Alyssa, and Audrey are in the same group.
Okay, let's just do 3.
Okay.
No, they stole my spot.
Alyssa,
Haley, and
Audrey, why don't you go work with, we're just going to do groups of 2 or 3.
Don't steal my spot.
Wait, what about me? Yes.
Don't steal my spot.
Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Be in my group.
1, 2, 3.
I'm working with him.
Here, Audrey, Justin, Michael, do you have a group yet? Audrey, Justin, and Michael, y'all work together?
Oh, we already got the group.
I'm working with him.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Audrey, Justin, and do you have a group yet?
Michael.
Okay, Mariah, y'all work together. Audrey, Justin, and Mariah, y'all work together. Sean, Andrew,
I'll stay here. I'll
and why don't you work with Sean and Andrew?
Okay, I'm gonna
You guys, why don't you go work with the 2 girls over here? Okay, well, listen, I need y'all to get with your group, please, and sit down, because I'm putting people in groups, and they've already been put in a group, but I don't know you're in a group because you're not with your group. It's not that hard, guys. Come on. No. Do your best to get it in the right order. But if you work as a group, you should be able to get it in the right order, okay? Okay, we already said that this one's going to be first, so ask. And then we said that this one was going to be 2. So y'all need to do 3 through 6. Okay? I'll do it for the first 2 that we did together as a group. And then y'all need to... Come on, guys. Y'all find a group.
Ask permission. No, I'm gonna write this. I've already wrote that down. I wasn't know what I was supposed to get a paper. She said on one single piece of Miss Eaton, did you say on only one paper?
Yes. Y'all just have to write on one paper. Y'all don't all 3 have to write.
Oh my God!
But if you all want to write, that's fine too. But y'all need to work together.
Where's that word? W. Miss E.
What's wrong, Justin?
Instruction. Okay.
Spell what?
18.
Yes.
Okay, now what's your turn to write something else?
This is what you would need in order to make the pasta.
Wait, you have to ask. Do we have a copy?
Yes, ask for permission.
Oh!
It doesn't have to be word for word, what's up here.
Joey.
But it does need to be what's up here. That makes
What is it? What is it? Well, you just messed it up. Come on.
Hey, O-N-L-Y. Yeah, it is. It's connected to the Y. I'm sorry. It's because I connected it to the Y because it was at the bottom of the page. I'll fix it. Where did my... Okay. Daniel's coming to join your group. I just connected them together. I'm sorry.
I'm already in a group of 3 though.
It's okay. It's okay. She sent Samuel over there to work with y'all, so let Samuel work with them.
Down.
Hey, if we're going to be loud, it's supposed to be working in y'all's group with you. Annabelle, you're supposed to be working in a group with me, baby. I know you didn't want to work in a group, but you're supposed to. Are y'all done? It's okay. Y'all are supposed to contribute with each other. Go contribute with me. I ain't trying to. It looks to me like over here, Michael Ryan's the only one doing any work. Y'all are supposed to be working together as a group. It's not necessarily about all of y'all writing, it's about all of you contributing. So like he's got one, 3. So maybe one of y'all walk up there and let him know what your sheet number 14 is. Hey, stop. Miss Davis wanted Samuel to help y'all. Please let Samuel sit down and help you. That's the end of it. Don't say anything else about it. He's supposed to sit and help y'all. So sit down and listen.
You're supposed to be dangerous.
You can show it to Miss Tommy when you're done. Right. No. Right? And you have to know what you have to be specific.
See, Kaylee.
So like if I just know the songs,
What do you mean?
songs at the same time, it may not work. You have to be specific.
Yeah, there is 2 more you gotta do.
Hey, if you think about it, think about the peanut butter and jelly example y'all did yesterday. You had to be specific in the order that you did. Are you in a group? No. Why don't you go work right over here with this group? Over the table. They'll help you out with what y'all are doing, okay?
She can work with us.
Yes. Go ahead and work with him. I just put her in that group over there. Go work with him, Samuel. Go work with Braylon and Chloe. You don't have to have a paper. Just go sit with him and they will help you catch up with what they're doing, okay? You don't have to write them out. Go work with Chloe and Braylon. Alright, I'm gonna give y'all about maybe 3 to 5 more minutes to finish your list up.
So hot. I know it's on the bottom, even though it's on our Now you have some mouth. Oh, you're paid to do. All you're paid to do is doing that stuff. I'm hungry for some Thank you. But look,
And then when I watched
this is very
well, and I really sure Alright, here. Hold on. Alright guys, let's bring it back in to the rug. She said bring it to me. Come on guys. It's okay, just sit down on the rug in your group. Alright guys, we're almost done. Listen up. I need you to sit with your group. Sit with your group. Okay. So, in the group that was up here in the front, Michael Ryan's group, what did y'all have for number 1?
Well, we said only use the pasta pot when hungry and with permission.
Okay, good. So that was number 1 down here. I don't know where I put my marker.
What's up?
That one's for what? Business owners? Okay. The one that was on the board with me. Alright. So that's number 1. The group of girls that was over on the couch. What did y'all come up with for number 2?
Get the pot down. Sure. There we go.
We don't tell our friends to shut up. That's not nice. Alright. The group that was back here at the back table. Chloe and Raylan, Emmeline. What did y'all have for number 3?
Emily,
Know the words to make the pasta. Okay. Justin's group down here on the floor. What did y'all have for number 4?
What do you
Okay, but before,
I want you to do exactly sing the song to make the pasta.
right, so once you know the words to the song, you have to sing the song. Right. Good. The group that was back here at the desk. No, was that your?
Actually, we couldn't finish because like we got one thing down and then Chris he would write something with on the right side, and you know he wrote Little Chris.
It's okay. It's okay. So based on what we have here, we have 1 through 4. So out of the two things, here, I'm gonna break this
Know
up.
the
and-
words that make the pot start making.
I'm gonna make this into 2 different ones. Oh, that's really messy. Okay. So what do you think would be the 5th thing you would need to do, Noah? Okay, so sing the words to stop the pot. Know the words. Okay, good. To make the pot stop making pasta. The group that was up here. Andrew. Just based on, because I know y'all didn't get to finish it all the way, but just based on the 2 choices that are left, what would you think would be the next thing that you would need to do? After you know the words to make the pot stop making pasta, what would you need to do next? Yes, sing the words to stop it. Has every group had a chance to go? Is there, okay, so collectively, what would the last thing be? You have to blow the 3 kisses to make it stop. Without the 3 kisses, you get the same ending. And so, had Big Anthony had this, do you think that he could have made pasta successfully for the town without overrunning the town with pasta?
Yeah.
Right. So, this kind of shows me that y'all are working towards being able to make a detailed instruction list of what to do. Now, this is stuff that y'all will continue on as you keep going through school. But this is a great start to it, guys, okay? Good job. If y'all want to take your papers and y'all can pass them up to me, that would be great. That's okay. It's okay. They're not going to be graded. They're just for my personal reflection. All the stuff that y'all turn into me, I use for school. That's fine. And it just,
Here you go.
it helps me. Are there any more?
Swapping it.